Meanwhile, at U.S. Congress, Storm has the floor. Yes, thank you so much, Congress. I am congressing about the following mutant issues. Issue number 1.
Excuse me. It's me, Marjorie Taylor Greene, representing Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'd like to reclaim my time. First of all, Miss Monroe, I refuse to call you Dr. Monroe because you're not a doctor.
That is true.
Okay, good. And I just want to tell you that you are a mutant menace. You the only thing's faker than mutants is COVID. All right?
Reclaiming my time.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Do you know what happens to a bleach blonde, bad-built butch body when it's struck by lightning?
Oh, I know you're not talking about me.
The same thing that happens to everyone else.
I'll tell you this, it's hard to try and go into press the buttons for the intro while you're being pretending to be electrocuted.
Careful around equipment when you're having that much electricity flow through you like that.
Yes.
Careful.
Yes.
Just be careful. Just take it easy. Be careful. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome
Hi.
to episode 303, palindrome episode
of
Comic Book Queers.
Yay. How is everybody? Good. How are you, baby? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm EvilJeff, and then our other host, Brett, here
Hi.
as always.
Yes, always.
And yeah, we're going to be, it's kind of, it's like the end of an era that we're going to be
It's literally the
today.
end of an era.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
It is.
We are
talking,
of course, about the Krakoa Era in X-Men.
Yes, but we'll be getting to that in a little bit.
In due time.
Yes, but I think first we need to maybe talk about just like, what were... Anyway.
Oh, and she was like, and then she was like, and then they were all like, and I was all like, what?
Seriously.
Oh my God. I was all like, I have something I want to talk about. Is there something you want to talk about?
No, EvilJeff, what's bothering you now?
I'm old.
Yeah.
And this is, I realized something about, as I am coasting through middle-aged at a lightning speed.
Just cruising through.
The thing that makes me depressed about it is my lack of FOMO.
Yes.
I have been invited to so many Pride Party things, and I was ecstatic to say no.
To not go.
To say no to anything. And then I was like, is this bad? Is this like, part of me, if I said out loud, I'm probably never going to go to a big, wild Pride circuity party thing ever again. And that depresses me. But I think I secretly know I'm probably not going to do it.
Like on paper, it depresses me.
Yeah.
But in my heart of hearts, if I really check in with my feelings, I'm okay.
Yeah, and I have my friends, they're like, come on out. It's great. We have Cialis.
Come on, it starts at 10.
We have Molly and we have mushrooms. It starts at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
There's 4 different dance floors and then it's just that's too many drugs for me.
Do you think you could do a night of hard drugs again?
No. I can't even drink right.
That's where Jeff and I are at.
I have a glass of wine and I'm like,
So many times we're planning on staying out all night. Like we'll be at the Eagle at 11:30 and we start at around 5:30. And I say like at around 9:30, we're like, do you just want to go home? Yeah. And it's yes every time. Every time.
Yeah. And that's the thing where they trick you, where you can be like, no, just do a little Coke, do a little Molly. It gets the energy up. But then
just do a little Coke.
Then the next day,
oh, forget it.
You're like, oh, did somebody literally riddle me full of bullets?
I'm on suicide watch the next day.
Yes. It's just not.
I can't be around sharp objects or
Sometimes
sheets.
the juice ain't worth the squeeze, or the squeeze ain't worth the juice.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
The juice ain't worth.
But you know
the
what?
Squeeze.
It's Pride. We're gonna try. I am gonna try. We're gonna try to go out tonight. We went out Wednesday, which was wild. Didn't stay out long.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. I have a new rule. And I was talking to another friend. Luckily, he was on my side. I think my main rule of going out, I can go out. However, it needs to have an outside patio because
You're a cigarette smoker.
well, I do
Just
have my
gonna
little one hitter. I mean, I
Sure.
love what I'm talking about. I
Who
mean,
doesn't?
I am blazed high the entire time.
We're talking about drugs and not marijuana.
Yeah, exactly. But it's that because you can't hear anything inside of a bar. And I can't go to a bar anymore where you're just saying, what? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. And then after a while you get up and you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I can't.
And then I'm like,
wouldn't-
wait,
yeah.
did they just say like, I'm really depressed? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And you're like, I think we have to pull the
Great.
plug on my mom. You're like,
Me too.
right? Me too. That's where I have a bar right down the street from me called the
Lucky.
Bullet. And it's an old people bar. It's all
Hell,
like,
all about
it's
it.
all people like in their 40s. And I love it.
That's not old people.
In gay world, it is. In West
Well, listen,
Hollywood.
Jeff wanted last night. He was like, do you want to go to Townhouse Pub? And I was like, the literal old man bar where like it's really like
Oh,
60
you
and
haven't-
70-year-olds. Like it's an
so
old man.
But that's the thing is when you
like, what
go
are you-
there, you're the chicken. Like
You're the belle of the ball.
prize.
Yes.
And
you are.
that's fun. I
You're
mean,
a
yeah, just
twink.
because you don't want to sleep with them doesn't mean, it's fun
Who
to
says
get
I
the
don't?
flirtations.
It's fun to get the ass grab.
Yeah. Yeah, my bar, it has a little back room in case people are getting frisky.
Oh, wait. Can I talk about a hot topic?
Okay.
All the bars here are installing dark rooms. All the bars.
Good.
Dark rooms
Good.
now. I'm like, what are we doing, everybody? I got pickpocketed last time I was in a dark room.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, are you putting your stuff in your back pocket?
I admittedly, no, it was my front. I live in New York.
okay.
I don't put anything in my back pocket.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I've actually now, Joe got this, which I'm getting one. It's a phone bag where it's like it's really stylish. It's like a cross,
Mhm.
and so it's there. So you can't be like literally. They would have to like rip it off. They would have to punch you in the face and rip it off your body. And
Which
you don't
sounds
get
hot.
big bulges in the side of your pockets, which I
Yeah.
always hate.
I know. It's
How many
upstaging my
things
other
do you,
bitch.
how many things do you need to bring to when you're going out to a bar? How many things are in your pocket?
My house keys, my wallet, my phone, and edibles, and
Okay.
dental floss.
Dental floss.
Jeff and I do not leave the house without dental floss.
But that's so the little picks or like actual
No,
string.
like we're in the bath. Like people looking at us in the
it's
bathroom
just
at
like
the
you're
club.
at the
Like,
bar.
what
like,
are you
Can I
doing?
get another vodka soda?
Exactly. Exactly. I can't.
I no. I have my keys, my wallet, my phone, but then I also need gum.
Okay.
And then I also need my little like bat one hitter and a little lighter. And that ends up being like a lot of things.
Yeah, Jeff carries the dugout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a lot.
These,
And
but
remember, I
yeah.
used to smoke cigarettes. I had to bring those too. Disgusting.
Oh my
Disgusting.
God, I know, me too.
Oh, who's smoking these days? Are you out there? Leave a comment if you're smoking
I'll
cigarettes.
tell you this.
Stop
I was
it.
I was at the Eagle like a month ago.
Yeah.
And,
Slut.
I'm on the outside patio, as one does when they want to
Right.
have a conversation. All these 20-somethings around me were smoking. And I'm just like, in LA?
Is it en vogue?
I think it's like a new
Ankle
like,
socks
rebellion.
are out. Smoking is in.
You know what? What is the right height of socks now that ankle socks
It's-
are out?
Either way shorter or way longer. But
But I
I go
thought
mid.
ankle-
I'm like mid shin these days.
Okay.
Like
that's
I think
around where
mid
I
shin
am.
with shorts is super
That's
cute.
what I am. Yeah.
Super cute.
I will tell you this. I started that a while ago. I know
Oh,
the
fuck you.
millennials are just but I was at this is going to be I was at Magic Mountain waiting in lines for all the roller coasters. And this was like 3-4 years ago. And I just remember being like, wow, all the young kids have their socks up high. And I didn't think that was cool. And then I was like, oh, they all do it. And all the older people don't do it. And so I was like,
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
And you de-aged 10 years.
It was. And everyone was like, oh my God, are you
oh my God,
college?
he's 30. Look at that 30-year-old.
Right.
I remember when I was in 6th grade and I went to travel camp, and on the travel bus, I had my socks pulled up, and the entire bus made fun of me and made me cry because I didn't have them pushed down, like crumpled down.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think anyone's doing, even no one does the crumple anymore. But I'll tell you, 1989, 1990, if you did not have socks crumpled in a leg warmer squinch,
what is wrong with you, nerd?
With your Sebago shoes and Bugle Boy jeans, you should go kill yourself. Anyway. Should we play a game?
Yeah, let's play a game. Let's reflect on Krakoa and play a game.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, Fudge Packer, it's game time!
Hey, Fudge Packer! It's my favorite thing ever.
I always think that is, I think that's such a nice, gay slur.
I love it.
Like nobody says pansy anymore.
No.
My favorite one ever is a lesbian term, which is bulldagger.
Yes, you say that a lot.
I love it. Just dagger, cloak and dagger.
Cloak and dagger. Oh, didn't Dabney Coleman? No, he died a long time ago. Did he just die?
I don't
Dabney
know.
Coleman?
I just found out today. Do you know who won? A dead person won an Emmy.
Who?
For guest star on Days of Our Lives. Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke was on
is
Days of Our
alive?
Lives?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought you were dead. I love getting those things where you're like, this person just died. And you're like, well, I thought they were dead for 15 years. Good for them.
Yeah, that's why Dabney Coleman either died 10 years ago or yesterday. I can't remember which. I thought Dick Van Dyke died from tripping over an ottoman.
He got killed by a group of Brits mad at his bad Cockney accent in Mary
Poppins. No, not Mary Poppins humor.
Okay, but we're playing a game, everybody.
Speaking of Mary Poppins, speaking of Marys.
Speaking of poppin' cherries.
Oh, speaking of poppin' cherries.
We are playing a game, top, bottom, side. Are these people top, bottoms, and sides?
Or verse.
And these rules, it's hetero, you can still be a top, bottom, or side. Now, granted, boring heteros, usually the woman is the top, usually the man is the bottom, but gender rules be damned. That's not necessarily always true.
Are you saying that heteronormative behavior is that the man is the bottom? What?
I'm sorry. My gayness came out so hard that I was like,
you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to...
You ever see that T.S. Madison where she's like, faggot? And he goes, what? And she goes, queen.
So yeah,
anyway, where the man is usually the top, but a man can get pegged. And so a woman could be a top. Lesbians, there's usually someone who's more of the penetrator and the penetratee.
Like with straight couples, do you think like a woman can be the one who is being penetrated and still be the top?
But that's the thing is, I think that's being a bossy bottom.
It's just being a bossy bottom.
Is a bossy bottom.
Power bottom, if you will.
That's, well, I think there is a difference between a power bottom and a bossy bottom.
Power bottom is physical.
Because I am a bossy bottom. That's attitude.
Yes.
Power bottom is how much can I take?
Yes.
More.
Yeah.
Basically, more. Do you? How big is it? And you're like, yes.
Correct. And how many more are there?
Yes. But today, who are we deciding, and who are we giving our opinions on who is the new top, bottoms, and sides?
Glad you asked.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the new X-Men teams that are coming out.
That's right.
When do these teams come out? Like, what's coming out next week?
I mean, it feels like it's right around the corner. I'm not sure.
Because I thought those say July.
We are already in the From the Ashes era. If you're looking at the new X-Men Unlimited on Marvel Unlimited digital, it's already From the Ashes time.
Oh, they're starting all new. Like
it's about Scott and Jean. Scott and Jean are on a little vacation, and this like villainous brainwashing thing is happening to the citizens of this Alaskan town. But the whole shtick is that Scott is scared to be around Jean because she's all Phoenix again. So he's like, ugh! He's like, do you want some tea?
Yeah.
And she's like, and he's like, oh. And then she's like, why did you jump? He's like, no
See,
reason.
I would be like, bitch, I want to take my visors off, hold back my ruby quartz. Remember, you can do that.
Yeah, he's really afraid of Dark Phoenix, and it shows. So anyway, that's what's going on.
I like
so
that.
Scott
That's going to
Summers,
be a fun plot where then she like flies back from space and it's like,
and she's like, yeah.
time to get busy. And he's like, okay.
And she goes,
but in the end, but he's fucking, because speaking of bottoms, but anyway,
exactly.
we'll get to that in a second.
Hello.
Okay, so let's start with the teams. First, we have the Uncanny X-Men. I'm going to
This is Rogue's team. Great, good job. How did you do that? My God.
Magic.
How about this team?
Uncanny X-Men.
All right, so these are the Uncanny X-Men. This is Gail Simone's book. Yes.
Yes.
So you have to think about Gail Simone through the lens of Gail Simone. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Gail Simone is going to make everybody queer.
100%.
Well, but if we're going to go through everything, Nightcrawler, girl, you're a top, because it's like
Nightcrawler is the toppiest top to ever
You're
top.
topping with your tail, you're topping with your digits, toppity top, toppity top, top.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's in my top 5. If I had to choose X-Men, I would want to top me.
Yes.
He's 100%
I feel like he's got a giant schwanz in the language of his people.
Here's a question, though. Does his wiener have fur on it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it fuzzy?
Yes.
And here's the thing, though. Have you ever had someone where they have too long of pubes? And when it mixes in the pubes...
And it gets in there?
Gets in there and it kind of scrapes a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I've never had that.
All right, fine. Well, I guess you're just I didn't
know that was possible.
Everyone has to...
No, I have a measuring tape, and the first thing I say is whip out your pubes. Give me an average.
Well, you know the rule. This is my new rule, is if you can take a rubber band and make it into 2 little pigtails, it's too long.
2 pigtails.
Like if you put 2 rubber bands, then if you make little pigtails on the side of your penis, if that is possible, they're too long.
I think that's a good rule of thumb.
So that does worry me because he's always fuzzy little blue elf. Is his fuzzy little blue elf?
You know, like I think part of why he gets so much pussy is because he feels so nice to the touch, like a nice couch.
Yeah, she's like, it feels like velvet. And he's like, bitch, I feel like velvet.
Right.
All right. Okay. Who else do we have? We have Wolverine.
So we have Wolverine. I mean,
Wolverine is like
it's either bottom or first for me
because he's power bottom because he can. We've talked about this plenty of times before. He can heal. He can take. Yeah. He's like fisting whatever.
Tight.
Yeah, it always heals back tight. Also, if he's a top and he's doing missionary, he's going to crush somebody.
Exactly.
He's 500 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, unless you bounced on it.
Yeah. We have Rogue.
Oh, the ultimate side.
You're right, because she's like, don't touch.
She's
me.
like, I don't. I mean, I'm.
She's like, let's just sit next to each other and jerk.
They shouldn't have issues. Yeah, let's just. Yeah.
But right now, I will say the one sad thing is them like fixing her powers. Sadly, has made her less compelling. Now that she can like doesn't even have to touch people to absorb people's powers.
And she can touch people.
And then she can touch people regularly. I kind of think we need to have Xavier got paralyzed again. I think maybe we need to have something happen where she can't touch people again.
Yeah, we need status quo back again. Yeah.
And speaking of that, Gambit, I know he's with Rogue, but he's a bottom. What do you think that staff is for? Give me
absolutely.
Bottom.
He's such the bottom in that relationship.
He's like, oh, Sherry, just put another finger in.
Ooh la la.
And then we have Jubilee.
Jubilee likes a big dick.
Yeah.
Jubilee, and she just, how old is she? She's like 21 now, right?
I would say she's probably like 20, 21.
Yeah, she's a mom.
She's a mom, but an adopted mom. Who has her relationships been with? Has she had... Who of her romances?
Just Roberto DaCosta.
On the cartoon, but
Weird.
in the comics.
In the comics, no one really.
Is Jubilee
Chamber.
Ace?
Chamber. They've made her with Chamber.
Oh, in
Right?
Generation X?
Yeah, like her and Chamber, I believe,
I
have
couldn't get through
always.
Generation X. I did not think it.
It
I
got really
don't know.
bad after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe she's ace.
maybe
she's
she's
asexual.
maybe. Why don't we go with that? Jubilee's ace.
Yeah. All right. Well, who
Okay.
do we have next?
Is it Scott's team? Yes,
We
it
have
is.
the X-Men. They're in Alaska. And as a side note, I've recently gotten onto Alaska TikTok
Okay.
of just it's one of those,
Really?
where it's like the thing where it's like, we're gay. Of course we're gonna like get drunk all night. You ever see those TikToks where people are doing that
Yeah.
format? Like, we're Republicans. Of course we hate gay people.
Yeah.
Like, there's one of Alaskans, but these people, it looks like the people under the stairs.
Oh
We're
no.
Alaskans, of course.
No.
It's daylight all the time.
Of course we're gonna eat a raw fish head.
Yeah, basically. And people were just, I got on this thing where then people were just stitching and talking about Alaska and being like, when you live where 3 months of the year it's dark all the time, and then 3 months of the year it's light all the time, that fucking does something to you.
I met this guy. I was talking to this guy in a bar, and I was like, "Where are you from originally?" He goes, "Alaska," and I recoiled.
You're like, oh.
I was like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Pulled the finger out of you. You're like, oh.
All right, Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Top, bottom, verse, side. What are we doing?
Well, I'll tell you this. Cyclops
man's a
is such a bitch with his women. I know that Emma and Jean have pegged him.
Tear him up.
Also,
I mean, remember
what do we
that panel?
think? Why is Cyclops 19 years old?
I don't know. People have really complaints about that. But let me tell you what people's complaints have done. That whole nonsense about Storm walking around in a short little mohawk in a man's suit showing up to Congress, they redrew that shit real quick because everyone was like, could you give her authentic hair? Could you make her look regal? Like, could you please do this character physically a service? And they changed it. And now she looks amazing.
Yeah.
So can we age up Cyclops a little bit? It's weird.
Yeah.
He looks like the Champions.
That's true. Yeah, he looks way too young.
Yeah.
And then we have.
Well, he's a bottom.
He's 100%.
You know what he is?
Bottom.
He's an emotional bottom. Like, he likes dating telepaths to like get in there and just be like, oh my god, yeah, oh, you're so complex.
But it's also he is the least complex person, because the only person that doesn't care about someone reading their mind all the time is somebody that doesn't have anything going on.
A simple problem. I mean, a simple person.
Yeah. Because he's like the Mission pussy, and that's it.
Yeah. The Mission
and
pussy.
A little bit of Wolverine.
And a little bit of bussy.
Yeah. Kid Omega.
I feel like he's a top.
Yeah. He likes to be in charge.
I feel like, though, every once in a while, maybe he's a little verse.
But also the fact that he can make projectile things from off of his hands, he's making like dildos and things like that.
Oh, he's sitting on some sort of telekinetic something.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought about that. Like, if you're a telekinetic,
you could probably massage your own prostate.
Fascinating. Okay. See, this is the comic I want to read.
This is the show. We found the show finally.
Yeah. Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut is.
Well, Juggernaut's gay. Number one.
Really?
Bisexual.
You think he's gay?
100%.
Has that been established? Based on what? That he likes Dazzler?
That he likes Dazzler and that he's in love with Black Tom Cassidy?
Okay. I thought they were related.
No, they're boyfriends.
No, he's related to Xavier. Black Tom Cassidy's related to Banshee.
To Banshee. But
okay.
Juggernaut and Black Tom are boyfriends. Make no mistake.
Okay.
They're in a relationship.
So you think he's the
top.
But it's questionable because he's so big. I feel his penis. I think he's a side.
You know what?
Because I think his penis is too big to go into anything.
He's like, I think he's a bottom, but his dick is so big that everyone makes him top, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
But like, there's like an insatiable bottom dying to get out. But do you know about Kid Juggernaut, the character that was just created?
Who's playing it? I think I heard about that, but who?
It's just a new guy. but he's gay.
Is it?
It's
He's
an out gay
gay?
character. Yeah, Kid Juggernaut is a new character, and he's
Is
an
he
out gay
Asian
character.
too? Am I
I
making that
believe
up?
so. I think because
Okay.
isn't Sitarak like it was found somewhere in
Yeah.
I want to say Southeast Asia,
Kid
but I believe
Juggernaut.
he is indigenous to the area in which Kane Marco found the gem.
Kid Juggernaut. I don't know if I'm trying to think. There has to be a better pun with a juggernaut. And I can't think of it.
Oh, got it. Yeah. The Faggernaut.
All right. Anyway, magic.
That is such a top. No, she's a side.
Yeah.
Side. She's still figuring shit out.
Yeah. She's
She's
got
like
too much
she doesn't
trauma.
want. Yeah.
She's got
No.
trauma. You
Yeah.
try to initiate something. She's like Belasco, and like we'll try to chop your head off.
You were like, whoa. Is that your safe word?
Yeah.
Beast.
Oh my stars and garters, beast.
Side.
Beast is a
He
side.
doesn't have time.
Yeah. Also, he's too in his head and cerebral, so he has trouble keeping it up.
Correct.
Because he's just, what's her name? Agent Brand is like, come on, give it to me. And he's like, wait a minute. If I think about the space-time continuum, and she's like, oh, you've lost it.
Your boners, you're not even hard anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
Speaking of tops,
Psylocke.
of Psylocke.
Done.
Psylocke
is
100%
the
top.
ultimate
Yeah.
top on the X-Men.
Yes. Now here's the question though: this is Conan, right?
Yeah.
Betsy, because back when they were merged, she was bisexual, and it seems like Betsy's now going full lesbian. And so, is Conan though a lesbian, or is she straight or bi, or what do you think her deal is now that Betsy's left her psyche? Did the lesbianism leave too? Yes. Did you
Hello.
lose me? Can you see me?
Somebody called me and my audio switched to a different source, so I couldn't hear anything you said.
Oh my god, who fucking called you?
I don't know, but I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Okay. I was talking about Psylocke when they separated. Did the lesbianism leave with Betsy Braddock? Is she still a lesbian?
Conan, you mean?
Conan.
Is she? Yes.
Is Conan still a lesbian?
I don't think so. I think she wants that Grey Crow like hard. Like that
Yeah.
was some authentic lust, you know?
Yeah.
But Grey Crow's a top two, so we have a problem.
Yeah. But speaking of lesbians, Temper, who's
I mean, I have
clearly
to-
with Necra.
She was clearly with Necra. How old is Temper? She's 21.
Temper, yeah, she's 18.
She's
or
21.
something.
She's 30.
Young. She's not
And
30.
I mean, Temper, her whole thing is like she's hot, she's cold, she's hot, she's cold. So I feel like she's verse.
Yeah, she's verse. She's like, my fiery side is a top and my ice side is a bottom.
That checks.
All right, well, let's get to the last team here, which is going to be a little tough for me because I don't know who three of the people are. I honestly don't know which is which, but let's start. Clearly, Emma Frost, top.
Emma Frost, top. I mean, come on.
Kitty Pryde, bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah.
So bronze is the one all the way in the back.
Okay.
Okay. Axo is the guy.
And Melee
Or
is
the male presenting character. And Melee is the in red and black.
And I feel like they are. How old are they supposed to be? Are they Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
I think that's a good question. I think they are like 18, 19.
So Gen Z. So if they're Gen
Yeah.
Z, they're sides. So Gen Zs, they don't want to.
They're all sides. Gen Z doesn't like sex.
Yeah.
I feel like the Axo character, I hope they turn out to be queer.
Yeah.
People are already falling in love with Bronze. There's a lot of buzz
What's her
around Bronze.
powers?
She has these like whips
that come out of her body?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
And her skin is bronze. Her skin is all bronze.
Oh, I love that. There
Okay,
needs to be a
it's probably
shiny
like-
team. A shiny team
Oh,
led
who
by
would be on
Emma.
the shiny team?
Bling,
Bling,
Mercury,
Emma, Colossus.
Colossus. And then we throw in Destiny just with her mask.
Amazing. And we call them exoskeleton.
X Sparkle.
X Shine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I feel like that's
this, yeah.
now that that's settled, we can enter the new age, the From the
Yeah.
Ashes age.
I think, should we talk about X-Men? Just the
Yeah,
actual
hit it.
comics?
Oh, hit it.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
Oh my god. X-Men. X-Men.
We have to talk about Ms. Marvel first.
Let's talk about Ms. Marvel, because I said this, like, I wasn't really digging it, but I was like, I will dig this if they give a reveal. If they give the reveal that I have been waiting for. What is her fucking mutant power? And,
I mean,
and in the end, it
obvious.
was a little, it was kind of like, yes, I guess it's what I wanted, but the most
It's what it has to be.
obvious is they need her mutant power is her MCU powers.
Yeah. They said it's like an external version of what your body does. And I was like, there it is.
But basically, it turns out, and this is the thing I'm not sure what's going on. There's two reveals for me. First, we revealed what is Ms. Marvel's powers. It turns out her MCU powers.
Her hard light.
And the way she found, or the hard light powers. The way we found out about this is through her her nemesis or villain who's been following her actually took her corpse from when she originally died, right? And then reanimated her and set off her mutant power.
Correct.
And that's how she figured it out. But then it was like, she was kind of like, oh, it seemed like she was like, I only joined Orcus to get to you, and I'm actually here to help you. And I had to be on Orcus to help you.
She's full of shit.
I was like, and
I am buying it.
That's what Ms. Marvel was like, I don't believe you for a second either.
I'm not buying it.
But why was she helping her discover her mutant powers?
Because she's her mother.
You're my mother, my sister, my mother.
My sister and my mother.
But anyway, so we finally find that, but in addition to that, they said she basically has Green Lantern powers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she can make like a giant chainsaw in the sky.
They said you could make houses and house people.
Yeah, but she can't make like a giant
mechanical thing.
mallet, can she?
If she can
Maybe
make a
she could.
house.
Right.
That's the
but
thing is, I think we don't know what the extent of. I mean, she could turn Omega. This is a power set that could easily become Omega. Do we want Ms. Marvel to be an Omega mutant?
No more Omegas. I'm sick to death.
Okay, Scarlet Witch. You're sick to death of Omegas?
Yeah.
Everybody says they're an Omega anymore. Omega.
Everybody's an Omega these days. I remember when they were 10, 12.
Would you, if you were a mutant, would you want to be an Omega?
Absolutely.
Really? I feel it would be too much. I feel it would be that thing where it would like my powers would be like too all consuming and it would like get in my way.
I always envisioned if I had mutant powers, I would be one of those mutants that would be screaming, going, "Everyone get away from me! You're gonna die!" Because my powers are so out of control.
Yeah. Have we
I just feel
talked
like
about
that's my
if you were entering the X-Men world, what would your power set be?
I would want my power set to be similar to Jean Grey. No, it's either Jean Grey or Storm. I just want whatever it is. I just want to be able to fly up into the sky, put my arms out, and start yelling shit at people while this beautiful shit, crazy destruction is happening around me, and everyone's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" That's what
I kind of want to be Hellion.
Ooh.
Yeah, just like super powerful telekinesis.
I would also settle for Kitty. I would love Kitty powers. And I would also settle for, you know what? I can see like when the mutant genie comes my way and is like, "Okay, Brett, your turn. Who is it? You've got 3 seconds. 1, 2. I would go Nightcrawler. and then I would look like Nightcrawler and I would have those powers and I would be happy.
See, I don't think I would want to walk around with blue. I'm a shy person. I don't want to be like, I'm going to I need to like go get some Chipotle and then I'm all blue and everybody's staring at me. I want to be able to blend in.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. We should cancel you for being
for not wanting to have blue skin.
For choosing to be a passing mutant. Ugh.
I will say if I was in the real world though, I'd want like tempo type powers, like time powers.
Ooh.
Can you imagine if you like woke up and you were like, let's just slow time down so I can get another hour's sleep?
Can you imagine you're like, you know what? I'm going to do high school over and make different choices.
My partner got real mad at me when we asked that question of like, he was like, if you woke up and you were 17, would you do things different?
Oh,
and I was like,
the answer is no, because then I never would have met you. That's the answer.
But I immediately was like, hell yeah. But he was like, then you wouldn't have met me. And I'm like, but that means I also would have had to done all, but I didn't meet you until I was almost 40, which means I'd have to wait.
That's when you say we're so fated to be together that we would have found each other no matter what.
I would say that's what I ended up saying. I would do this. He's like, but we would have never met. And I'm like, but if I remember, I would seek you out. Also, my partner is 10 years younger than me. So guess what? I'm not.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We met, it was 30 and 40 when we met.
Oh.
10 years apart. Ooh. But that's when you're 30 and 40, it's like whatever.
It's whatever.
But when you're 32 and 22, that's more of a like, what do we have in common? But then it's like, I'm 25 and you're 15, I'm going to jail. So I don't want to meet him until a certain age anyway, because I'm not a pedophile. I've told you we talked about the new term you use for that.
Oh, on TikTok?
A PDF file.
A PDF file, because I'm not a PDF file. Oh,
anyway,
people.
What were we talking about? X-Men, Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
The actual comic I felt was it still written by the actress?
Yeah, it's Iman, and then who was I feel like she's getting all the credit, and there's another writer. Sabir Pirzada is the other writer.
It's fine. I think it did what it needed to do, but I'm interested in this NYX. Who's writing that?
I can't remember right now, but
not her.
No. I was hoping this would like set up NYX more.
Well, it does set it up that pretty much now everyone thinks Ms. Marvel is not a hero. And
she's hated and feared.
And she's like a hate crimer. Yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting. I also love when she's like, oh my God, everybody hates me. And fucking bitter ass Kitty Pryde is like, now you know what it's like, bitch.
And then she's like, the X-Men wear their trauma as like a medal or like a reward. I'm like, ooh, they sure do.
I know.
They sure
like,
do.
Uh-oh, issues. Yeah.
Kitty.
And I forgot to switch over to this is what we were talking about.
That's what we were talking about.
Let's talk about Uncanny X-Men 35. Or X-Men 35 or Uncanny X-Men 700.
The official last chapter of EvilJeff. Can I just say it? I'm going to say it. Krakoa is the best run of X-Men ever.
Wow.
It's better than Morrison. It's better.
Wow.
I think it's better than Claire. I don't know. Like, it's hard to say something is better than Claremont because Claremont is the foundation. Like,
I will tell you this. Issues, and this is, I'm just talking about a run from probably around Uncanny X-Men around, when did Phoenix show up? In the 120s, 130s?
Sure.
From when Phoenix showed up in Uncanny X-Men to about
like the end of the Outback.
Yeah. I would say even when into a bit by the time he left,
a little bit after Outback.
That is one of the most amazing runs of any comic ever. So it's hard for me to put anything atop that. But now if you're saying put it towards Morrison versus Krakoa, that's very tricky. It's very
Just
tricky
think
because
about
I think
all
there's some, yeah.
the wonderful things that we got because every single character was in the same space. Just
Yeah.
from that alone, it's the best approach to this universe.
Yeah, we also have the idea of Apocalypse in a weird way. Apocalypse working together with the X-Men, us getting Genesis and Arakko and all of those
It
mutants.
got rid of the whole villainy hero thing.
Yes,
We had the Hellfire Gala, which, oh my
the
God, like
Hellfire Galas, Hellions with
hell yeah,
Sinister
like
leading a
so many
team.
great books and so many great lineups. And then you had characters again occupying the same space. Like, remember how great it was when Conan and Betsy Braddock were like all of a sudden in this on the same island, and they were like, oh, it was
But
those
also
moments.
making Betsy Braddock Captain Britain, redeeming Grey Crow,
The Moira reveal.
Moira. Oh, I will say this is I'm very sad about I guess there's just no Moira. And they
No
are
more, no
definitely
more Moira.
and speaking of
But
that,
she's happy.
in this comic, they revealed that Hope is dead, so resurrection is gone. However, Hope is alive on the island.
Well,
So
in the
they're
White Hot
able to
Room.
in the White Hot Room, so they're able to resurrect inside the White Hot Room.
All right, well, let's go through the issue.
Yeah, okay.
So it opens with a nice little summary of the past 60 years of X-Men on one page.
Yeah.
And then we see Xavier being taken away after he was arrested at the end of Rise of the Powers of 10, or whatever it was. And Wolverine stops the brigade that's taking Xavier to jail to kill Xavier. He just shows up to kill Xavier.
Yeah. But he gets stopped by Magneto, who flings his body out.
He goes, cripes.
And basically they have a conversation. And for me, it was very much of a Death Becomes Her moment where he's like,
Yep.
oh, now you want to like have everybody to be peaceful?
What's so brilliant here is they've switched roles.
Yeah.
Xavier is Magneto and Magneto is Xavier.
I love it.
I love it. There's so many moments of inversion in this that I noticed. I'm going to get to a few later.
Because what we have is Xavier is like, I've tried everything and in the end it didn't work. And because sadly, in the end, he is the one that saved everybody. Because Jean Grey was the one that they needed Phoenix to kill Dominion, but the only way he could kill him was to get to Moira, and he set all of that up. And the only way he could do it was by murdering a bunch of humans. So he's now on the Magneto of like the greater good. Actually, this is for the greater good. Sorry. And Magneto is coming from Resurrection, where he's like, I'm looking at every human being I killed, and it matters. So the greater good does not matter. The individual matters. So they've fully reversed.
It's fantastic.
Sides. And so I have a question for Uncanny X-Men. In the back of that picture, they don't mention him, but that's Magneto in the chair, like in Xavier's chair. Is that who that is?
Yeah. Is he in a chair, like hovering at the top?
What? Yeah, let me go back real quick. Isn't that him in the chair?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's really fun. I think that's super fun.
So then we see sort of the leftover Krakoa, the Krakoa that was left over when the Krakoan core kind of jumped out and escaped on the run from Orcus. But then something happens, a bigger Krakoa appears out of nowhere and forms sort of behind the Krakoa that's left on Earth. And out comes a character that I connected to many moons ago and said, I like this character. And now, 15 years later, because that's how much time has passed for the mutants in the White Hot Room who are now back, here is an adult Kafka being like, what's up, everybody? We figured it out.
And here's the interesting thing is 2 times Krakoa has split.
Yes.
and one of the islands disappeared. And I find it interesting that it split. The other island became Morocco. It disappeared into Otherworld, and it became mutants who only valued war and fighting.
This is the inversion I was talking about.
This is another
This is
inversion.
it's the opposite of Morocco.
They found a way to resurrect every Genosian mutant, and they've found a fully peaceful communist society. It's literally Marjorie Taylor Greene is like throwing up and freaking out.
Yeah. And Doug, just like when Krakoa met Morocco and they couldn't communicate. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now, this new same thing, this new Krakoa, the old Krakoa cannot communicate. And so Doug kind of arranges for them to unite and meet and merge. And then that's when it's revealed that Kafka and the mutants that were left behind resurrected the 15 million mutants killed in Genosha at the top of Morrison's run.
They figured out how to leave the White Hot Room. They figured out how to enable all the gates again. And basically they're like, hey, some people, they do want to go back home. So we've come back here to let everybody go back home who wants to go back home. But then in 24 hours, whoop, we're fucking going back because Earth sucks.
Because this place is bullshit. Like, if you've been to Europe, you feel the same thing. Once you've been to Europe, you come back here and you're like, this place is bullshit.
Terrible.
Yeah. So this is the moment I cried when I read this book. Because she deserves this.
Emma?
Yeah.
I secretly wanted a Negasonic
me too.
Teenage Warhead moment where she walks up.
But this is good enough. And when she says, so she's the first one to, I'm going to get choked up now. She's the first one to realize it. And like, she all of a sudden just goes, oh my, they did it. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? And Jean's like, no, she's right. And then you see the 15 million mutants, and she says the children, they brought them all back, which makes me go back to when she says one more time for the children in House of X in the beginning. It recontextualizes that. You realize at the time she meant the children that were killed in Genosha.
Yeah.
That's who she did this for.
Yeah. All the other children can go.
All the other children can go to fucking hell. And the adults killed on Genosha could go to hell.
Also, I will say throughout this book, there is this connection between Jean and Emma. And
the comedy duo that is Jean and Emma.
And part of me misses that little hatred they had, but I also love that it's like kind of gone.
Me too. And like Emma's now the one that always gets into trouble that Jean has to like pick up and dust off. That's whenever they do the silent issue, the Xavier one, the Storm one, it's always like Emma fucked up and Jean's got to like get her and bring her back. Loved that. But yeah, so that what we're talking about is when Emma gets punched out in diamond form by Apocalypse and winds up in the middle of the ocean, and Jean just scoops her back up. But Apocalypse, he's not cool.
Exodus.
Oh,
is
Exodus.
The first one, not cool. Exodus
Not
is like,
cool.
how dare you leave all the mutants? We all need to be together. And Exodus comes in and he's like, boom, 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 punches this bloody. I thought he killed him for a second.
So did I.
When you see a pound to the head and blood shoot up, you're like, you're dead.
Yeah, but Exodus is an Omega.
Yeah. But then Apocalypse is like, no, and you can't leave because
no,
I'm
fuck
the
you.
leader.
I'm the one that's supposed to be.
I'm the leader.
Yeah.
And it's
And
so
like, and Kafka's like, you tried, like, we wouldn't have been here without you. He validates Apocalypse's role in this whole thing, but it's not enough for Apocalypse.
But I will say this is my critique now. This is old Apocalypse, and it does not jibe with the Krakoan Apocalypse we have been seeing. The Apocalypse that's like, Storm, you are the magic, is coming back.
I know.
Like, I should be the leader.
I know.
Like,
Totally.
it didn't fully vibe with me. I was like...
The other thing I'll say is they spent way too much time on this fight with Apocalypse. If this is all...
you're holding? Is that a Hellfire Gala?
Sorry, you remember... So our friends at the X Reads podcast and House of...
When they had their get-together? Like
Chandler and Dylan, no, they do the Uncanny Experience. They rent out the mansion and do the whole like X-Men convention in con. Chandler visited. We had brunch in New York and he gave me this. He gave me a Hellfire Club coaster that he made.
I love that.
Isn't it great?
I love it. Yeah, it is great. Apocalypse has fucking sour grapes, and then we just get to see fun fight scenes. It looked like he killed Kafka too.
I know. I was so scared about that, but Kafka's okay. This fight also, though, it has the best move I've ever seen a particular X-Man do.
Who?
Nightcrawler.
Oh,
That
that's
was
right. That's the first he's ever done
insane.
that. I don't think he's ever done that before.
Nightcrawler
He teleported
bamfed
someone's-
out his eyeballs.
eyes.
He bamfed out Apocalypse's eyes, which is so cool.
Which
and
leads to the best comedy moment.
the best.
when
He's
he
you
goes
got
to Wolverine.
You got cojones. Wolverine
he's like,
says, "You got
"No,
cojones." He goes, "No, they're
they're
eyeballs."
his eyes.
Good
He thought he
bit.
took his
Good bit.
balls. Honestly, he should have taken his balls. That might have stopped him. But we get
Yeah.
to see everyone fighting. We even have a moment with Richter being like, "Come on, don't you remember
Daddy.
the times we had together."
Daddy, no.
What happened to the other Genesis, his younger version of himself? Do we ever
Oh, I have
find
no
out what
idea. We
happened
wrote
to
him off. No one
He's
cares.
just gone. Okay.
So then Emma tries. She gets knocked into the ocean, and then Jean's entrance into the battle is one of the coolest, most beautifully chilling. She shows up as a red bird on Apocalypse's shoulder.
Yeah.
In the middle of all this violence, she just lands like a little cardinal on his shoulder, and you just feel the power. You just feel like when Jean tells you to stop, stop. And that was Jean very nicely saying, stop. And then she scooped Emma out of the ocean.
Yeah. And eventually
And Apocalypse is like, fuck you. You're not cool anymore. I don't like you.
Yeah, and so he just kind of goes back to Morocco to kind of like be bitter.
Just to be a jerk. And then that sets up the Heir of Apocalypse book that's coming out. And have you seen
Who
the
is
character
the Heir
lineup?
of Apocalypse?
Well, it's like 12 characters vying for that role.
Do they
Emma's-
has it been listed who it?
Yeah, it has. Emma's one of them. Sinister's one of them. Why don't we look this up real quick? Because there's one character who's in there who I'm like, it's obviously her.
But what does it mean to be the Heir of Apocalypse?
I guess like continuing to look for the fittest. I have no idea. I have no idea what that means. It's ill-defined, which is kind of the Apocalypse problem we have now.
Have you been able?
You're gonna love this lineup, though.
Okay, let me see. Who could be the heir to Apocalypse?
Who is the heir?
I am the sun and the heir. Did you know that that's S-O-N and H-E-I-R?
Yes.
I always thought it
I've
was
looked at the
S-U-N and A-I-R.
No, I know. I've looked at the lyrics and I've known that, but I was surprised at the time too. Who are the characters? They are. Jesus fucking Christ! Can I get a list?
Are any of them his children?
No, I don't think so. We got. All right, here's some of them: Forge, Cypher,
Forge.
Wolverine, Laura,
Boy Cypher.
Cable. Yeah, Cable, Emma, and Nature Girl or Armageddon Girl. It's her. It's Armageddon Girl. It's Nature Girl. Obviously.
Well, I do feel like why would it not go?
It's
to
Gorgon. It's Exodus. It's fucking Nature Girl.
Oh, I want Nature Girl too.
Yeah, it's totally gonna be her.
Turn. I love that turn for her.
Yeah, I love this for her. So we'll see. Who else? Oh, it's Monet. Okay.
But back to X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse is back. He's finding an heir. We then get to also see what happens to Mother Righteous. In walks Dr. Stasis, and I'm like,
I thought it was dead.
stupid. I'm stupid. I should have seen this coming from a mile away.
A mile away.
Because
Me
you're
too.
like, no,
I had
he's
no
dead.
idea.
Mother Righteous doesn't know that he's dead. She's been locked up. She doesn't know what's going on. So she's like, maybe we can run away together. Fucking stabbed.
Stabbed, which I yelled, thank you, because we know we don't feel Mother Righteous. I don't fucks with Mother Righteous. Sorry.
And it's Mystique. And so she's like, sorry, bitch. And is she dead though? They don't kind of, does that
I
kill
hope
her?
so. Like, let's just get rid of her. We're done with all the other Sinisters. That's over. The best
And then
Sinister is still
and
around.
here's where we're ending. And so this is where it's now. Krakoa disappears, goes away. So the majority. So I think they set it up where it's like there's still mutants being born. There's mutants that stayed. There's mutants that left. Are the four? Where is Proteus, Egg, Elixir, and Tempo? Did they stay?
Isn't Proteus part of the stories in the back?
Is he?
Yeah, he's at a bar.
He is at a bar. Okay, so the four did stay, but
Yeah.
they can't resurrect because they don't have.
Oh no, that was Xavier. I'm sorry. I remember thinking it was
Okay.
Proteus. It's Xavier eavesdropping.
But
on
right
them.
now, resurrection is donezo.
It's done. We're done.
No more
There's no hope.
resurrection.
We're not in the white hot room. Can't do it. Sorry.
Yes. But I do like the idea that it's the same thing where it's like, I'm mad that Moira is gone. But at the same time, if they brought Moira back, she's either a maniacal crazy villain, which is boring. But if you bring her back as regular Moira,
Or
she
she's
just
a ticking
dies and
time
everything
bomb.
starts
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah. No, it's the right call. I like,
but
honestly,
it's
as messy as it was to get here, I think where we landed ultimately with everybody was correct.
But here's the thing. Where's Dakin then?
So
How did
Dakin
Kid
is-
Omega get
wait.
resurrected?
Dakin is Helverine.
Oh, that's who's Helverine? Is he raised from the... Is he coming from like hell or
I
something?
don't know, but he's Helverine.
Interesting. Is he like a good guy or a bad guy?
We'll find out.
Oh, we have to read it? Is it out already?
We'll find out when we look.
Every time I see some random version of Wolverine, I'm like, ugh. But if it's Dakin, I love
Now
Dakin,
we
so
have to be like, maybe it's Dakin.
yeah.
Or maybe it's bisexual Governor Wolverine from that Dazzler book. The one that was with Hercules.
Or Diamond Patch.
Or we have matching diamond patches.
I know, that's right. I have one too. Oh, I should have him like displayed somewhere out here. I have him in the living room.
I have an Emma shrine.
But let's get to the very end of this. Is setting it up. Xavier, of course, when he was in the Illuminati, he went and implanted in Reed and Tony's head, if you ever try to fucking stop me,
This bitch.
I'm going to implant, you have to put a loophole in. Brilliant.
She's a cunning bitch.
Because and it looks like his thing that he's like caught in was made by Reed and Tony. They're the ones kind of housing him.
Yeah.
But he's
Again,
still
and it
able
looks
to
like
kind of get out there.
it looks like a giant Cerebro, another inversion. Like the Cerebro looking thing is now his prison.
And they show basically he's able to kind of go around, look around,
Look
but
around.
he's also able to influence people. And here's a poor mutant, Krakoa was for lovers, walking around. She starts getting followed by a purifier type. What's the
Yep.
what were they called?
Yep.
in,
Friends of Humanity.
Friends of Humanity.
Yep.
And he's following her with a big old knife.
He's gonna stab her. She looks like she's from Saga.
But the next thing she does, and the next thing you know, he's frozen. And then when he snaps out of it, he's dangling off a building. They don't show it, but I think Xavier killed him.
Oh, absolutely.
So Xavier's like, my new thing is I'm going to
My new thing is I'm done.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go into the minds of everybody important and fucking...
He's Freddy Krueger. Xavier's Freddy Krueger.
But here's the deal, is he was like, I want to be a good guy. And when Xavier's not a good guy, it's like, I'm just going to go into the minds of all the mutant haters and make them not hate mutants or kill them.
Listen, I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either. Do I kind of not hate Xavier after all of this?
Xavier redeems himself a bit. I mean,
he still murdered a bunch of people.
But now he's like a full-on villain. I'm like, yeah, okay. At least now you're not pretending to be this like righteous...
But what
holier
about
than thou?
What about Legion? Is he still in the White Hot Room then?
I think Legion can do anything, come back anytime.
Okay. Then we get into this post story, which is kind of dumb.
Nightcrawler and Destiny having a picnic.
Nightcrawler, getting to know you. It's written by Chris Claremont.
Oh
so we
boy.
get someone where it's like Chris Claremont is able to...
I'm glad he got to write this story, though.
He got to write it because it's like what he always wanted.
Yes.
And basically it's the like this is they're setting it up that it's like this is the new family, the X family.
Yeah.
The X family used to be all the Summers family. It's the
Now
Summers
it's
family.
now it's
It
the
is now
Darkholmes.
the Darkholme family. It is Rogue, it is Nightcrawler, it is Destiny, it is Mystique. The
Gambit.
thing is there's kind of like they kind of go back and forth where Rogue's talking to Destiny, Nightcrawler's talking to Destiny, they go to talk to Mystique. Nightcrawler and Mystique have a big sword fight. It's all fun.
He calls her Papa.
Yeah, it's all fun, but then the thing that I think that is interesting, this is I think the most important thing, is Destiny says to Mystique, I know both children will forgive you, but not me. So she sees in the future that she's like, they'll forgive you, but they're never going to forgive me. And I found that a very interesting setup. Because also Nightcrawler is, in a way, the moral center of the like the moral heart of the X-Men.
Absolutely.
And he's now entered into a family of liars and murderers. And how is he going to... He's going to probably try and save them. And I have a feeling he's going to try and save
over
Mystique
and over.
Destiny, and they don't want to be fucking
No,
saved.
it's going to be this. Now that we have a pattern of dysfunctional behavior of him thinking he's their savior, him thinking there's good in them, and them being like, nope.
Because Rogue and Nightcrawler are on the Uncanny X-Men team together, which means Mystique and Destiny are totally fucking showing up. So that is
100. Gail Simone keeps saying there's a lot of characters in this book that have not been promoted yet, and Destiny and Mystique are absolutely two of them.
Yes. We also see Xavier going around. He sees that like Alex, Iceman, and Beast. We didn't see where Iceman wasn't listed on that team, right?
Iceman is not on any roster.
But we do see Iceman here in Alaska.
Do
with
we?
Beast and Scott.
No, that's Xavier. That's Xavier's astral form.
Oh, that's Xavier. Oh, it's just because, oh, you're right. Okay, so and then we see.
So basically, this is setting up all the new books.
All the new Rogue and Gambit are still doing their
thing. Then we've got Kitty in Chicago, which will be the Emma book.
Trying to not try where they're just like. I find this where she's like, Man of Steel, what does that sound like to you? The one girl says. And
to me?
Kitty says, to me, my ex. And that sounds like, ew, men.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even after somebody goes, men, and she goes, tell me about it.
Right.
Which, hilarious. To me, my ex-men.
Yeah, yes. To me, my ex-men. I didn't even get that. That's amazing. That's amazing. She is full on Annie DeFranco loving.
Oh, girl, this is East Lakeview.
Etheridge, come to my window.
She is bartending at the Closet. Okay,
scissoring. Yeah,
on Broadway.
She is.
What was that other? What's that other lesbian bar that was like somebody's name, like alliterative name? She's there. I forget what it was called.
Yeah,
Henrietta Hudson.
Is
that New York or is that Chicago? Anyway,
then
we see Wolverine, we see NYX, we see X Factor, we see X Force, we see the Storm solo, we see the Dazzler solo. Thank you so much. And then the Phoenix
Alex
solo.
Summers and Forge in X Force?
Forge is the leader of X Force. Forge is the leader of X Force, so that's setting up X Force.
And Havoc will be X Force.
Havoc, Angel is the leader of X Factor.
What is the thing that Forge is all freaked out about in this? He looks like
I don't know what this is.
Okay, and then
I think we'll find out.
Talking at the UN, Dazzler is having a comeback. She's the Kylie Minogue of the of the Marvel Comics.
By the way, did you see the Kylie Minogue Orville Peck stuff with their new single out? Oh God, he's so hot.
But they went to. Yeah, I could have seen them. All my friends went to because they performed at WeHo. He showed up
but you're
to
too
the
old.
WeHo performance. That was one of my things where I was like,
I asked people. Kylie Minogue, I would have went.
I know, but I did talk to people, and people were like, it was very uncomfortable because it was so insanely packed.
Oh yeah, no.
Like that, and I'm just like, I just don't. You can't enjoy something when people are pushing you and shoving you to get out because there's no like seating, so people are just shoving to get in the front. Like a mosh pit style? No, I'm not mosh pitting to Kylie Minogue.
I'm not mosh pitting ever again.
And I like that Xavier is just going around, but of course when he goes to Phoenix, Phoenix is like, "What, bitch?" And here another
Like, I see
inversion.
you, bitch.
Phoenix ate a son, killed billions of people.
Inversion.
Here she's creating
Saving
a
one.
son and saving people. So
She's like, I don't want to hear about the broccoli people anymore. We are even, Steven.
but it ends. It looks like Xavier dies. Is that all just like
No, I
a
thought he
mind
woke
trick?
up.
Oh, that's right. It looks like he dies, so they're taking him away, but it's all just a quick.
They say he's a vegetable.
Yeah, but it's all just a trick for him to make his
Yeah.
ultimate escape. Who are these people that are plotting the
I don't
new
know.
Orcus?
We'll
There's
find
also
out.
Like a new Orcus being set up.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, and that's the new era of X-Men that are showing up.
Incredible. Incredible.
Hopefully they don't, shit the bed. I really need some good
I think it's
X-Men.
promising. I like
It's promising, but that doesn't mean anything until I read these first issues.
Right?
Remember how excited we were for the blue and gold teams? And remember what that turned out to be? Garbage.
My God. I'm just excited for the Dazzler solo. I am not casting judgment until I read Dazzler #1, because there's going to be a Dazzler #1, and there's a book starring Emma and Kitty. Okay? We're doing good.
Yeah. Because we know Dazzler is going to make another appearance on the show when that shit starts.
Oh, hell yeah. She's also going to be probably
prepared.
in a movie next month.
What? Oh, you think Dazzler's going to be... Everyone was saying Taylor Swift was going to be Dazzler, but I don't think that's true. Do you?
I do.
Oh my God.
I do.
You need help. All right. We're going to wrap this up, but I do want to talk about something really quick. Another segment. Let's go to shit that I'm watching right now. Damn it.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
Sorry, I'm still learning how these buttons work. Girl. This is my first time doing the YouTube show where I can use some slides to try and convince people everybody needs to watch BL.
Did you prepare a PowerPoint?
Yes, bitch, I did.
You have a deck?
What you watching? Gay Asian soap operas, also known as BLs. I like calling them gay Asian soap operas because when you talk to the normal world and you say BL, they think you mean Bud Light. Also, when you say, what does that mean? You say boy love, they then think you are a pervert. And you're like, no, I'm talking about
They think you're a
adults.
PDF file.
Yes, I am talking about adults. I recently, for my show, I did a red carpet, and there was a GameStop or something was interviewing us. It wasn't GameStop. It was
GameStop.
it wasn't something. It wasn't something
on entertainment now.
Yeah, no, it was a gaming streaming service was interviewing
Twitch.
us. But they were like, "What is your favorite fandom?" And then I basically talked about BLs, and then my partner was like, "Why were you talking about that?" And I was like, "Sorry." But basically, I just want to talk about the government of Thailand. They are in the process. They're a few months away from legalizing gay marriage, and they have also hired a minister. Because you do realize, do you know why there's Thai restaurants now, right? Everywhere.
No, why?
Most Thai restaurants were given funding from the Thai government. The Thai government started an initiative to fund Thai restaurants around the world to have their culture be known. And bitch, it fucking worked because fucking everybody loves Thai food now. And if you talk to someone in 1995 and you're like, "What's your favorite food?" Thai food. You'd be like, "What?
Right? What is that?
What is that?" Exactly. They've hired someone to being like, "Wow, one of our biggest exports are these gay soap opera celebrities." They are like, you saw when you were watching Ken Porsche. They're selling out arenas around the world.
And they never came here, which I'm like, fuck you.
I know, right? America's not ready for this. So they actually have government interest and are now funneling money to help promote gay soap operas in Thailand. So I'm going to do my part for the Thai government now that they're legalizing gay marriage.
You're a
And I
shill.
want to promote Thai gay soap operas.
Okay.
And here
Oh,
we are.
make it bigger.
These
Nobody
are
needs to see me for this segment.
these are on you. The best part, the ones I'm describing, these are on YouTube. You can literally just go to YouTube and watch these. And this show is called Wandy Good Day, and I spelt it wrong. It's 2 D's. Sorry.
Oh,
And there's a
monster.
character named Wandy and a character named Yorak. And it's basically an orthopedic doctor and a Thai kickboxer.
Oh, come on. I'm so horny.
And basically, they start as fuck buddies. And they start as fuck buddies. And here, just another thing to just convince people to maybe watch this.
Is there a clip?
Here's a scene. Well, I don't have
We have a
clip.
clip. Oh.
But here's a scene, and this whole scene is
Hot.
about how the bottom, who is not standing in that, he's like, "Oh, your dick is too big. That might be too big. I don't." And them talking about how his dick is like too crazy big.
Have a good day.
But basically, they're fucking, but both of them have crushes on other people, and they've decided to like help each other with their exes and stuff. One is trying to get revenge on an ex, and one is trying
Okay.
to get with somebody.
Okay.
But they're still fucking. And of course, as time goes on, they're falling in love. But they're like, no, we're not really in love. We're just having sex. But they're totally falling
It's all
in
part of the plan.
love.
Mhm.
It's on like episode 6 right now. It's
Okay.
really, really sweet. And it's also really, really sexy. And the guy standing, he is hot.
I want to touch his body.
Yeah, he's really hot. And this one, those are guys in
cute.
their, those were guys in their like early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. It's a high school story, but these actors are like 20 years old. But this is a high school story called My Love Mix-Up. It originally was a Japanese BL. There's a Japanese version of this one. And these two boys are also pop stars, and they are probably like right now like the most famous like gay couple in Thailand right now. They're like
Nice.
super famous. And My Love Mix-Up is basically the guy in the middle with his hands up is in love with the girl in this picture.
Okay.
However, she wrote "I love blah blah blah," the guy sitting next to him, on her eraser. She has a crush on him.
Okay.
And she wrote it on her eraser. He's like, "I have a crush on you." And he's like, "Hey, can I borrow your eraser real quick?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, use this." And then he sees on the eraser that she has a crush on the other guy. And he's like, fuck. And he's so mad, he drops the eraser. The guy she has a crush on picks up the eraser. And then he's like, "Why is my name on this?" And the
he
guy's
thinks
like,
the guy wrote it.
but then he looks at the girl and she's like, and then he's like, "Oh, I have a crush on her. I can't like out her to her
Oh my
crush.
God.
She'll hate me."
Does the
And then he's
guy on
like-
the eraser have a crush on the guy who he thinks?
So he's
wrote
like,
it?
"I wrote it. I wrote it." And the guy's like, "What?" And anyway, it cuts to this scene where the guy's like, I didn't think I was gay,
Steamy.
but you know what? I'll give it a try." And so the other guy's like, "What?"
I'm not gay either, but I like this.
But he's like, "But if I tell him I'm not gay, I'd have to rat out the girl and then she won't like me anymore.
Oh my God.
But now I have to pretend to date him." And of course, they fall in love. But the other guy is so like, "Wow, you really are in love with me. I guess I'll give it a try."
my God.
Why doesn't America make plots like this? I wish America would have fun.
Because we were founded
stupid
by
gay
Puritan
plots.
Christians or whatever
And
they
this
were.
is the reason I'm just promoting Thai, and they make them in Korea. There's Korean BLs, Japanese BLs, Thai BLs, Taiwan BLs, Filipino BLs. The reason I like that is because and I love Heartstopper, but you know what Heartstopper is about? I need to come out. I'm in the closet. Is it okay to be gay? And
I have trauma. I'm cutting myself. I'm not eating.
yeah, it's just. I just
Like,
want,
I'm a magical genderless creature that comes to life every 1,000 years, and the last thing I can do is fall in love with another boy. Like the plots of your shows are so insane. We wouldn't even have TV shows about straight people with plots that fantastical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want.
We lack
This is what I
imagination
want.
here.
Yeah,
We lack imagination.
also, but I think sometimes people get so caught up with the message of like, this needs to be diverse, so we need to have like gay characters, so we need to talk about their experiences.
You need to know about their trauma.
And sometimes it's like, but you know what else gay people do? Normal things, and they fall in. And once you're out, you fall in love, and it's just normal. And so I like that this is just gays being normal, and no one cares. Like he falls in love with he's in love with a girl, but now he's in love with a guy. A lot of people are just fully
no labeling.
That Wandy Good Day, the guy literally says he's pansexual, and the other guy's like, oh, I'm gay, and he's like, I'm pan, I'll fuck anything. Like they just address it of like, and nobody cares, and it's not a big deal.
Watched The Book of Queer on Netflix, which is like this kind of dramatization of the story of 4 historical queers whose stories are not told enough. One of them is Abraham Lincoln, but it talks
I need to see
all
Mary. I need to see Oh Mary. Have you seen that yet?
I have.
Oh, I'm so
jealous. So basically it talks about how like the concept of gay is such a modern construct, and like it used to not be like you're this or that or this, only in America. Oh Mary, when you watch Oh Mary, at least like now it's going to be on Broadway, but when you saw it at like the Lord's Hill Theater in the West Village, you felt like you were witnessing a part of like niche queer theater history. Like Oh Mary is going to be on the map in terms of the queer arts in New York forever. Like it's just so iconic and so hilarious. And I have to keep reminding the guy that plays John Wilkes Booth is the cute boy from Titans that worked at Star Labs that fell in love with Robin.
Hot.
Who was also in Fire Island, the boy that liked Bo and Yang. Right. We like him. I forget his name, but we like him a lot.
It's so crazy because the body on him, you could not tell that he had that body in Titans.
But you see it in Fire Island, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You couldn't tell how hot he was in Titans. It was weird.
I need a fun. There needs to be another fun. I want a fun gay movie. Is there a fun gay movie coming out soon?
I don't know. There's got to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, have you seen All of Us Strangers yet? I refuse to watch it because everyone's like,
fun.
I want to kill myself.
Super fun and upbeat. I actually didn't like the ending of.
I almost want people to spoil it because I'm like, what is so sad? But don't. We'll watch it.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
No.
I do not like the ending of it, but it was so well acted and the music is very great. I mean, these people, they're playing people our age. Like they're like Andrew Scott is playing someone who's like our age exactly. So all of the music references, all of the time stamps of it definitely there. I cried a lot. And then something happened at the very end, and I'm like, I don't like this movie anymore. I'm telling you, that's how I am in a TV show. If you don't stick the landing, I end up hating the entire thing.
Did you cry when Emma Frost saw that the 15 million people who died around her were back? Did you cry?
Because I hate children.
I cried. You hate? Oh God, you're awful.
Oh
my God! So my street friends
someone was making fun of me because of the scene when we were watching the X-Men 97 and Cyclops and Emma show up and he takes the mask off and you start crying and I'm like, hey, wanna fuck? And someone like messaged me being like, this is your dynamic, Brett just crying and you being like disgusting. I'm like, yep, that's basically it.
That's why it works, folks. That's why it works. But I think it has shut itself off. This episode. I think we're done.
Oh, I thought you were saying a technical issue. Like we're not recording anymore. I'm like,
no. No, we're good.
Oh my God. Well, that's the end of this episode. It was a bit of a long one.
It was a bit of a long one. It's whenever we think we don't have much to talk about, we're like blah 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 blah.
And but that's what we love to talk because we read comics. Tell us about comics, Brett.
Oh, well, there's really only one thing I know about comics. That is, if you read comics, well, then that makes you queer. Bye.
Damn.